What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Glove Drop. I got the Western Conference recap for you.
This one will stick with him forever.
The Western Conference is done with round one. The Calgary Flames were the first team to be eliminated from the Western Division in a 5-game series against the Colorado Avalanche. The Flames came out on top in a 4-0 win during Game 1. Game 2 went into overtime, but thanks to an OT goal by Colorado Avalanche player Nathan MacKinnon, it was tied. Game 3, the Avalanche pull up Cale Makar. Cale Makar is a defenseman from the University of Massachusetts. He also is the Hobey Baker Award winner. And he also led his team to the NCAA Men's Ice Hockey Championship. While they did not win, I am sure that Makar was not upset very long, because in Game 3, Makar scores the third goal, technically the winning goal. And, so your first NHL game, you score a goal, and your first NHL goal happens to be during a playoff game, and it also happens to be the winning goal. So that is probably the least exciting thing that has happened over the course of all of the games in the Western Conference, but still, that's incredible. Game 4, the Colorado Avalanche and the Calgary Flames find themselves in overtime again, and the Avalanche were able to pull it off a second time, winning 3-2 thanks to an overtime goal by Mika Rantanen. So here we are, Game 5, the Colorado Avalanche are leading this series 3-1. They are 1 game away from moving on to the second round. Calgary is 1 game away from being the first team eliminated, and that is exactly what happened. Colorado Avalanche comes out on top 5-1. They are moving on to the second round, and the first-seeded Calgary Flames are out of here. The Calgary Flames have at least one little thing to hold on to. They have some company, because the first-ranked seed, Tampa Bay Lightning, was also knocked out in the first round by a wild card. The Winnipeg Jets would be the second team to be eliminated from the Western Division. They fell in a 6-game series to the St. Louis Blues, and it was probably the closest series thus far. The Blues managed to take Game 1 and 2, winning by only 1 goal. The Jets rallied, and they took on Game 3, winning 6-3. The Jets managed to pull off a second win during overtime in Game 4, thanks to a goal by Kyle Connor. Going into Game 5, the series is tied. However, the St. Louis Blues pull it off and squeak by, winning Game 5 and Game 6, 2-1. So, if you don't remember, former Ranger Kevin Hayes traded last day of the trade deadline. We got Brendan Lemieux and conditional draft picks. The Jets are done. Our draft pick will go no higher than 22. But that's okay, because we also traded Zuccarello. There is still a glimmer of hope with the Matt Zuccarello trade to the Dallas Stars. The Dallas Stars would be the second wildcard team to pull off the win as they took down the Nashville Predators in 6 games. The Stars wrapped it up yesterday, and it would be their first playoff round win at home since 2008. Matt Zuccarello managed to pull out 3 goals, and what was really strange for me and any Rangers fan out there, Zuki pulls 3 goals, no assists. Zuccarello was one of our leaders in assists when he was a New York Ranger. Whatever, don't care, they're moving on to the second round. The Dallas Stars trade conditions when they got Zuccarello for us were, if they make it through the first 2 rounds of the playoffs and Zuccarello plays in 50% of these games, our second round draft pick turns into a first, which will redeem the Jets. Feel bad for people up there, it's probably boring, but like I said, this is a Rangers channel. I want draft picks. Sorry. So, at this point, we've got both wildcard teams moving on to the second round, and the only game left waiting on is Game 7, the one series to go to 7 games, and it would be the most incredible hockey game I have ever seen in my life. I have no words other than I love this game. First, if you think I look like a crazy person or exhausted, I'd say you have an eye for spotting exhausted people. It's 4:45 in the morning. The Vegas Golden Knights San Jose Shark game was so wild and intense that there was no way in hell that I was not going to film this. Now, I know I rushed through those first 3 series, but that's because I have a lot to talk about. Game 7, Vegas Golden Knights San Jose Sharks, the second Game 7 matchup, 10 o'clock, SAP Center, and like I said, this was the most insane. I'm like, up until this point, the series was whoever scored first won the game. The San Jose Sharks won Game 1, 5-1, and the Vegas Golden Knights come back and win 3 in a row. We go into Game 5, and the Knights have the opportunity to eliminate the Sharks, but the Sharks managed to pull it off. The Knights have a second opportunity to eliminate the Sharks in Game 6. Game 6 goes into double OT. Again, overtime in the playoffs is not 3-on-3 for 5 minutes then go into a shootout. It's a full 20-minute 5-on-5. I don't think this has ever happened before in playoff history. Game 6, double OT. The San Jose Sharks come up with a short-handed goal off of Tomas Hertl to win it. In my notes, I wrote, holy little did I know tonight would happen. So, for the second time in a row, the Golden Knights miss out on an opportunity to eliminate them, and it's going to a Game 7. The Vegas Golden Knights ran the show for the first 2.5 periods. They are up 3-0 with 10 minutes and 40-something seconds left. I was literally just getting ready to shut her down, but then I hear there's blood all over the ice, and of course I'm like, what? You see a lifeless Joe Pavelski laying on the ice. Now, for those of you who didn't see Game 1, Joe Pavelski, captain of the San Jose Sharks, kicked off the scoring in the entire series after scoring off of his face. Took a slap shot to the face off Brent Burns, lost a bunch of teeth, and it's redirected off the guy's jaw into the net. He's removed from the game, comes back with Hannibal Lecter mask, completes the game, and they win. Going in on the face-off, Cody Eakin cross-check to Pavelski. He takes such a hard hit that he bounces his head off the ice. Done. He's not coming back this time. Blood pours out of the side of his helmet. Eakin gets sent to the box. The crowd at the SAP Center is going out of their minds. Crap's getting thrown everywhere. Eakin is still sitting in the box when Brent Burns, Joe Thornton, and Evander Kane, alongside the doctors, hoist up this limp dead body of Pavelski, are smashing these blood-soaked towels into his head and getting him off the ice. People are going nuts, and if you want to throw gasoline on the dumpster fire that was the fighting between these two teams, that was the way to do it. They call it a 5-minute major. He gets ejected, and 6 seconds into the 5-minute major begins the greatest 28 minutes of hockey I've ever seen in my life. Now, before any of you jump down my throat about the Vegas Golden Knights being shafted and how that wasn't a major penalty on the cross-check, hear me out. Hear me out. Obviously, it was a cross-check. He's got his 2 hands on it, and he's using the shaft to hit him. No part of the stick is on the ice. 5-minute major because the injury was sustained. People are saying, oh, it was a injury from before, blah, blah, blah. He bounced off the other guy, whatever the case is. Even if it shouldn't have been a 5-minute major, there is absolutely no excuse for the Vegas Golden Knights to somehow let up 4 goals in 4.5 minutes on a power play. Coming into this, just based off the series, I added this all up. So there's nothing. You can't say anything. As far as penalty kills go, At the end of Game 6, they were 21 for 25 in the penalty kill. They had 4 for 4 on the penalty kill throughout the first and the second period of this Game 7. So, according to my calculations, that means you were 25 for 29 on the penalty kill in 6 games and 2.5 periods. What the hell kind of excuse is that shouldn't have been a major when you are going to allow 4 goals on a 5-minute penalty? Even if it was 2 minutes, the goal scoring would have taken place to that extent, and there's absolutely no excuse for a team that is up 3, Game 7 of the playoffs, who's done that well on the penalty kill up until that point, to allow that to happen. And that is why I don't care about people saying, oh, it was an injury, because you also don't know that. You don't know if it was his jaw bleeding. It didn't look like it. It looked like it was coming out of the back of his skull. Either way, no excuse. Game 7, third period, you're up 3. You cannot allow 4 goals to be scored. So, sorry. Jonathan Marchessault fires back, 47 seconds left to tie it. And here we are again in OT. Despite Vegas screwing up in the third period, this goes for both teams. That was the most intense, most passionate hockey I have ever seen in my life, and I am still in awe. Both teams gave it everything that they had. It made almost every other team look like they didn't care. That was incredible. Back and forth and back and forth. And you could just see these guys digging deeper than they've ever dug before, just to get to the puck first, just to throw their body in front of it. And the San Jose Sharks managed to come up on top. 18 minutes and 19 seconds into overtime, Barclay Goodrow finally ends it. They were all just absolutely, you could see a sense of relief, because that amount of hard work and that level of play that was maintained had drained them to the last bit of their soul. It was a great hockey game. I have no updates on Pavelski thus far. However, hopefully he's okay. That poor bastard has taken it for the team. He is a captain in all sense of the words. The other person that needs to be mentioned for his efforts tonight as far as the San Jose Sharks go, Kevin Lebanc. Kevin Lebanc showed up, and in the greatest comeback ever, the first 3 goals were off of assists by Lebanc, and he wraps it up, scoring the 4th. So that wraps it up. We've got 2 wild card teams, and we've got the San Jose Sharks, and we've got the St. Louis Blues. The Dallas Stars kick off round 2 on Thursday, facing the St. Louis Blues, and Friday, the San Jose Sharks will take on the Colorado Avalanche. The final Game 7 of round 1 on the East Coast, we've got the reigning Stanley Cup champion Washington Capitals taking on the Carolina Hurricanes, and we will see if there will be 4 wildcard teams moving on into the next round. I hope you guys have liked what you've seen. If you have, please hit subscribe. If you have not, don't yell at me for my explanation of the penalty kill. But if there's something else you want to see, something else you don't want to see, anything at all, throw it in the comments. I will see you guys tomorrow. I will be putting up the Eastern Conference wrap-up, and I'm pretty friggin' jazzed up for round 2, and I hope that you guys are. Until then, because this is a Rangers channel, let's go Rangers, and also, I'm excited for Shark Week.